Drone Racing League.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So sick.
For those of you that don't know who Matt Higgins is, he is a CEO and co-founder of RSC Ventures, which I'm a big fan of, but also vice chairman of the Miami Dolphins. He's also a guest shark on Shark Tank.
I can help you scale a lot faster than you're going to do on your own.
The fact that you even have free time to take a stroll through a park.
I barely. I was on my way
exciting.
down actually, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah,
On your way downtown.
I'm just accommodating you.
Boom, roasted.
I appreciate you fitting me in. You have a very, very interesting story, and there were a lot of challenges that you had to overcome growing up as a kid here in Queens. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I grew up in Queens, single mother, and when I was probably 14 years old, I had an epiphany. I said I could either go the conventional route, and things are going to end very poorly, or I could take control of my life since no one's going to swoop in here and rescue us. And I came up with the idea that if I could drop out of high school when I was 16, get my GED, and do well enough, I could start college when I was 16. Craziest idea I ever came up with, but probably the single most important, best decision I ever made in my life. And I remember when I finally executed, sitting on the steps of Cardozo High School and packed my Marlboros, started smoking a butt, thinking like, I may have actually just thrown my life away. And I remember picking myself up. 2 weeks later, took the GED, the SAT, and I enrolled in college.
People that know me know I'm a huge foodie. One of the things I really appreciate about you is co-founding and CEOing RSC Ventures along with the owner of the Miami Dolphins, Steve Ross.
Yep.
One of the things you guys have had tremendous success in is investing in some great food platforms and some businesses. When you're looking at investing in some of these food opportunities, firstly, what sort of things are you looking for specifically?
Right. That's a great question. So everything we do is usually founder driven. We're looking about people who have something special or magical that they're trying to bring to the market, and somebody who's at like an inflection point to get the rest of the way there. So the reason why food is so interesting, especially these scalable concepts, it combines art and passion with business at the same time, right? And few things I think do that. I love food. Unlike you, I cannot partake, which is irritating. Like,
why not?
Because I'm constantly trying to lose that last 20 pounds. And now, like an idiot, I put myself on Shark Tank, and I don't want to stare at myself on Netflix or Amazon with like all that, neck fat. So I don't get to eat at the places
Makeup can take that off.
Only so much.
Well, a lot of your success has now provided you opportunities to get on camera more often.
Indeed.
You're now a guest shark on Shark Tank. First off, what's that experience like?
It's been incredible. I believe in this idea of the reach, right? You're always trying to reach forward and make yourself truly uncomfortable. I came up with Shark Tank about 1.5 years ago. My son could care less about sports, not interested in the Dolphins, not interested in international soccer, pretty much anything I do, but he likes deals. And so we would watch Shark Tank together. And I remember one time sitting on the couch thinking, hey, I could go on Shark Tank. He's like, no, you couldn't, Dad. I was like, no, I really could. I mean, I kind of do that during the day. I was like, I'm going to go on Shark Tank.
I'm going to show my son.
I'm going to show my son. And I put together a plan. I started working with a friend of mine, Reed, who put together the pieces. I went to Sony. Who's this anonymous guy who's here to pitch himself on Shark Tank like literally hundreds of people do? And bit by bit, I started telling my story. And the feeling was like, oh, he does represent everything this show is about. Very unlikely.
You're an expert in this now. So for people at home that are trying to launch a product or launch a business, what's the fundamental thing you would say to them?
All right, well, number one, it's like a gating item, and I have to say this to myself too, so think about how important it is. Just because you can do something does not mean you should do something. And a lot of times the first idea you stumble upon at 2 a.m. is novel, and it's interesting, and it's new, and it's disruptive, but it's not worth your time. And people skip the phase where they really assess, is this what I want to both do with my life? And 2, is this really going to be big enough to get funded, to feed my family? I'm amazed how many times people skip that question.
You're also an NFL executive for the Miami Dolphins.
Right.
Big football fan growing up. Did you ever imagine that one day you'd have that title as well?
I didn't.
As vice chairman of the Miami Dolphins?
So I didn't. My path to sports is very improbable. It actually is through politics. So during 9/11, I was Mayor Giuliani's press secretary.
Yes.
And then I was the first employee at the rebuilding of the Trade Center site. So I spent 2 years navigating the politics and all the development issues, the pain. My road into sports was actually through politics and land use. And so my attention's always been on the business side. So I'm an unlikely, improbable sports executive.
Drone Racing League.
Yeah.
Tell me about this. This is something that I know you're really, really passionate and excited about. It's still a pretty new thing, though.
Yeah, I love it as a case study because I met the founder of Drone Racing, Nick, who you're going to meet later, when he was just starting out with a PowerPoint. And he comes to my office and says, okay, I know this sounds crazy, but let me tell you my idea. All around the world, there are people who are meeting up in parks and garages and whatnot to race these high-performance drones, right? That I think has the makings of a sport. People are already doing it. You can imagine how it could be sponsored. You imagine people coming and watching drones together, and it has the makings of the next sport. We acted early. We didn't care that no one else thought it made any sense, because we put all those pieces together and it made sense. If you have confidence in yourself and you have those pattern recognition skills, you shouldn't need validation for anybody else to see how it's going to play out.
Yeah.
So I thought it had the makings of a sport. I thought this guy had the makings of the kind of guy who could pull it off. And you work backwards from where it's going to end up.
We're going to go check this out now.
We're going to go check it out.
Dude, I can't wait to see. Are there actual drones?
By the way, it's going to make you feel very emasculated. You think you probably have good hand-eye coordination because I think you were a quarterback?
I was.
Right, I know. Yeah. So it's really hard.
As a Canadian,
by the way, it's really
I'm
easy.
very self-deprecating anyway.
I love Canada, by the way. I love doing deals in Canada.
You're welcome anytime. So Nick, you're the CEO of all this. What did you see when you had the vision of what DRL could become?
Yeah, when I started DRL, drone racing was already a sport that was really growing in popularity. It had this incredible grassroots community. And I thought we could create a version of this that would really appeal to a mainstream audience, to give them that experience. And that's what drove me to get it going.
We go check some of this out? This is so cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, so you're seeing what the drone sees, what the pilot sees from our race at the BMW Welt in Munich.
How fun is that?
It's so awesome.
Wow.
How big is the monitor? Are they wearing these goggles when they're
those
racing?
goggles. In fact, the ones Matt have on have been used in competition.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? You have to fly around in these spaces.
Well, yeah. I mean, and just
Look at that.
How you have to contort in 360 and these these what do they call it? Suicide rolls, or these tube rolls they do. Look at that. You could actually get, if you have a problem with motion sickness.
I know. I was actually getting very.
This could. I mean, you've got to have a very strong stomach. Wow.
This is so cool.
And a fear of heights, because you are.
Look at that.
Oh my God.
That's so sick.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, so cool.
Yeah. And these pilots are just unbelievably skilled. I mean, to fly a drone that fast through enclosed space.
How long is it? Remind us again how long a circuit is?
So an individual race, which we call a heat, one time through the course is about 1 minute long. And an event is made up of many, many races. So a full event is about 2.5, 3 hours long if you come for one of our live events.
Wow.
2-hour live broadcast on TV.
Wow.
Beautiful.
All right, Nick, dude, thank you so much
Yeah.
for the tour, the DRL. This has been fantastic. For our viewers at home, if they want to tune in, if they want to find out more about this league, where do they go?
Sure, yeah. August 11th at 2 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be on NBC Network showing world-class drone racing. So tune in, check it out, see what
I'm
we're up
tuning
to.
in for sure, man.
Cool.
That's really great. Congratulations on it again.
Thank
It's
you.
awesome, man.
Amazing. Thank you.
Money well invested.
Not bad, right?
No, pretty good.
I think I
You
might
know
be-
what you're doing.
I think I might have a future in
Yeah,
this, right?
something
I should go on,
about
like
you.
Shark
Yeah,
Tank or
yeah,
something.
yeah, exactly. That's great.